Jesus speaking, then if anyone tells you, look, here is the Messiah, or there he is, don't believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will rise up and perform great signs and wonders so as to deceive, if possible, even God's chosen ones. See, I've warned you about this ahead of time. So if someone tells you, look, the Messiah is out in the desert, don't bother to go and look, or look, he's hiding here, don't believe it. For as the lightning flashes in the east and shines to the west, so it will be when the Son of Man comes. Just as the gathering of vultures shows there's a carcass nearby, so these signs indicate the end is near. Verse 29. Immediately after the anguish of those days. So what are the signs and what are those days that Jesus is referring to? Well, I think not only are they the signs he's about to mention here that we'll read in a moment, but I think they are also the signs we talked about last week, that problems are going to continue. There'll be wars and threats of wars, earthquakes, famines, and disease. Those things will increase on the planet and continue. There will also be persecution that climbs. Jesus said, the whole world will hate you because you believe in me. They will arrest you, persecute you, and kill you for your faith in me. So I believe, by the way, this is my opinion, okay? I'll do my best to tell you what's my opinion and what's not when I'm going through these messages. This is my opinion. I believe the anguish of those days that Jesus is talking about is, at some point, our world will unite under a common banner, perhaps even a common government, and part of their uniting will be against those who follow Jesus. I think that happens before Christ returns. Jesus said, going back to verse 29, immediately after the anguish of those days, problems will continue, persecution will climb. The sun will be darkened, the moon will give no light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. And then, now it gets good, at last, the sign that the Son of Man is coming will appear in the heavens, and there will be deep mourning among all the peoples of the earth, and they will see, everyone say see. They will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Amen? Jesus is coming back. Knowing when the end will come, or knowing when Christ returns, is not as important as being ready for his return. So what should I know to be ready? Well, last week we looked at these signs. That's important. This week, the first thing we see here is this. Everyone will see him. Everyone will see him. Jesus said, there'll be deep mourning among people on earth. Why will there be mourning when Christ appears? I mean, this passage we just read, by the way, is at the same time both exciting and relieving, but also heartbreaking and sad at the same time. So why will there be mourning? I believe there will be mourning because people on the earth who have not put their faith in Christ, they will now know that it's true what Christians have been telling them all along. Jesus is coming back. And when he appears, there will be deep mourning on the earth. I actually believe, again, my opinion, but I believe that perhaps during the time where the world unites against believers in persecution, during that worldwide persecution, while the whole world hates Christians, the whole world will also be hearing about Jesus. Because I believe there are going to be Christians, as there are today, all around the world, as they're being arrested and persecuted and killed, they will be telling their persecutors, Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back. There's still time. There's still time to believe. There's still time to repent. There's still time to forgiveness. That, as Peter said, the Lord is not slow in keeping his promise, as some people think. He is patient, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to repent. So there's still time, but you've got to be ready. And oh, church, there's so many people that will not be ready. So there'll be deep mourning among the people of the earth. There's coming a day, church. There's coming a day where the arrests will stop, the persecution will end, the killing will cease. And for those who believe in Jesus, there'll be no more crying and no more tears and no more sorrow and no more pain and no more death. Because the sign of the Son of Man, Jesus, will appear in the sky. He will come on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. As Revelation 6 says, the sky will roll back as a scroll, and everyone will see him. And for those who believe, it will be a great time of celebration. But for those who don't, there'll be deep mourning. Church, do not believe that Jesus is back until you see him in the sky. Knowing when Christ returns is not as important as being ready. So what should I know to be ready for his return? Well, there's signs. Last week, everyone will see him. He is not back until you see him. And it will be a global event. You won't miss it, okay? Like, he came quietly at Christmas. No one knew. He left triumphantly at the resurrection. A few knew. He's coming back victoriously, and everyone will know. Everyone will know.